Hey,
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Yay, super excited. People are coming in. Okay, and as people are popping on, let me know where you're at in the world and something that you're grateful for today. And hi, Susie, and hi, Lisa. You guys can pop in the chat where you're at in the world and something that you're grateful for to start it off in high vibe energy, because what we focus on, we create more of. Ontario, and grateful to be here. I'm grateful that you're here too. Awesome. And I actually might put it through to Facebook Live just because I am hiring a VA, a lovely VA who will be announced shortly, who will help me with all of the techie stuff. But I know that some people don't get all their emails and stuff like that. And I'm not great at sending out reminders because I don't want to do that with my time. So I'll also load the Facebook Live up in there too. And I'm totally looking at the things that we're grateful for. So we can celebrate the things that we're grateful for, focus on that good energy, because we're here to make more money and a bigger impact in the world. And you want to be grateful and happy and joyful when you're making an amazing impact in the world. And it's preparing the stream on Facebook. I'll just copy the title in. $5 to $15K. Such a big title. So you guys are on to learn and discover and find out the 3 keys to increasing your impact and income to 5 to 15K months. So it's gonna be super, super juicy. You're gonna do a lot of downloads today. So definitely have water, have pad of paper for notes or your journal, whatever you prefer. Okay. Oh, there's an error in the broadcast. Go live. Maybe we are just gonna record on Zoom today. Yeah, I've never had a broadcast error. Please try again. Okay, Facebook is not wanting this. This will just be the recording of us. So I'm super excited, and you guys will have more time to ask questions, which is cool. So I am Laura McPhee. I think that everyone is pretty familiar with me who's on live, but I'm also getting some beautiful soul sisters who are referring this to their friends. So if you guys get the replay and don't know who I am Laura McPhee. I'm a joyful goddess, a speaker, healer, and coach, and I absolutely love supporting other lightworkers and increasing their impact in the world and increasing the amount of income that they can have. And this intention for today is the 5 to 15K range. So we can be wealthy women, we can be wealthy men, we can be wealthy lightworkers in this world and show up and support our soulmate ideal clients and really just like increase the goodness. It's been very interesting what's been going on in the world and the waves of awakening that have been happening. And I've seen it in my world, in my business, in my friends and peers' businesses, in my clients' businesses, that the people who are showing up to serve and support others right now are able to thrive and have incredible lives. And from our like solid, safe boats, help other people who are having less ideal of a time in the world right now. So I'm super, super called to supporting even more people, which is why I was doing so many of these how to increase your impact and income master classes a while ago, and now I'm feeling really called to do it again and focus on a higher level, as well as I also help some of the group people that I just supported through a 6 to 8-ish week experience and moving forward. So we're going to talk about the 3 keys tonight. I'm going to do a lot of theta healing downloads to support all of you lovely people. And if you're unfamiliar with theta healing, it's going into your subconscious mind. So every single evening when you go to bed, you naturally and normally go into your theta brainwave. So the wonderful thing about your theta brainwave is that we can go into it instantly. As a theta healing practitioner, I can bring it into the exact moment that we're in right now. And if you're watching live or on the replay, you're able to clear, release, and let go all the stuff that doesn't serve you and bring you in alignment to what does. So out of your entire mind's capacity, out of the entire mind that you have, only 5% is conscious. So when you're desiring to have the life of your dreams, the ability to have the impact on your clients that you desire and have more clients come in and have higher months for your income and profitability, because profitability is really important in a business, and have the ability to have like free time and travel and more self-care and all those things, that's only 5% of your entire mind's capacity. So it's kind of like the tip of the iceberg versus the other 95% is just beneath the surface. So that's the subconscious, which has all your limiting beliefs, all the blocks that you've had over your life. And when we're little children, we're wonderful little sponges. So our subconscious is supportive because it's kept us alive. Yay, we're alive. And it's supportive because you naturally and normally learned how to speak your mother tongue. The other downside of it is that unfortunately, we can pick up scarcity belief systems, and we can pick up fears, and we can pick up all kinds of unsupportive, limiting beliefs from our parents, friends, family, the world, and society around us. To clear, release, and let go of all the stuff that we don't want anymore is what we're doing today. So we can be out of alignment with what we're wanting. So there's a gap between where you're at and where you want to be. And by clearing those subconscious limiting beliefs, you can get there so quickly and easily and joyfully and with love and support, instead of learning lessons through like hardship or pain or suffering or struggle or all those kinds of things. So we're going to do a lot of theta healing downloads tonight. It's very easy. All you have to do is say yes to receive the download. So I'll say, would you like that? You can say yes. And if you ever don't want to download, you don't have to say anything. Everything is total free will, and that's important as well to know. And the other amazing thing I love about theta healing is that you can tune in to your belief system. You can use a muscle testing tool. So I like to use my fingers. You can put your fingers in like an okay sign. No one's seeing you right now. Everyone can do this at home. And it works because your muscles are connected to your subconscious. So if you're saying a true statement, your fingers will stay strong and in a circle together. If you're lying, it'll get a little bit weaker in your muscles, which will break. So if it's a no, it'll break. And if it's a yes, it'll stay strong. So I'll kind of do it over here because it's a little bit harder for me to like show you over here. Your other fingers are going to be pliers, and you can just muscle test first with your name. So if I say my name is Laura and I pull, that stays strong. My name is Laura, I pull, that stays strong. Everyone can try that with your guys' names, making sure you have a strong yes. The other way that you can muscle test that's amazing and awesome is if you stand up, take a couple deep breaths, you're grounded and centered, and say out loud yes, and just notice which way your body moves. So that's another way that sometimes people like to do too. Then if you say a false statement, so if I say my name is Jack, it breaks. So everyone else can try that. My name is Jack, and it breaks, unless your name is Jack, and then try a different name. So then you know what your no is. And if you're standing, you can take another couple deep breaths, standing in the center, and just say out loud no, and notice how your body moves then. And then you can do the same kind of thing where you say your name and be like, okay, this is what a yes feels like in my body. This is what a no feels like. And it's amazing to have that tool, because then you're never going to someone outside of yourself to tune into your own belief system. You can have that all the time, 24/7, 365 for the rest of your life. You can tune in to what your subconscious is currently thinking and feeling. One caveat on it though, is that it's not like a magic crystal ball. Like sometimes people are like, what is this or what will? And it's not like, oh, will this happen? Will this work out? It's a current present moment check in to your subconscious belief system. That's a true or false, yes or no answer. So just want to make sure that that's clear with everyone. So in addition to being a theta healer, I'm also a Reiki master practitioner. So I'm able to clear, release, and let go of the body blocks in people's worlds, any dis-ease showing up in the body from being out of alignment with things that they're desiring. I'm also a Tony Robbins Mastery University graduate. So I have the like coaching background. I have like the more masculine energy pieces. I've also gone deep dive feminine energy pieces. And we'll talk a little bit about the harmonization of masculine and feminine energy later on, which I'm super excited about. And I'm also a reflector in human design. And if anyone's familiar with human design, there's 4 main types. So manifesting generators, generators, projectors, and reflectors, 4 main types. And reflectors are 1% of the population. So I am the 1% of humanity that is essentially all my channels are open. The other 3 types have different blockages or like centers that have stuff in them. So they're not totally open and clear. Reflectors, the 1%, do have completely open centers. So when we're in front of other energy types, the other energy types get to experience what it's like to be totally open, to be totally flowy, to not have any of those like blockages in their system. So that's also a very cool superpower that was not super fun when I didn't know how to utilize it as a superpower. As with most of us on our spiritual journeys, it's like, yeah, being an empath can be a superpower, but like growing up not knowing how to use it, it does not feel great. It feels a little bit more like a curse. So the interesting thing about being a reflector is that I amplify people. So I amplify the good in them or the bad in them. So me being an amplification in front of light workers, other coaches and healers and heart-centered entrepreneurs and people who are here to do good work in the world, I amplify them like extraordinarily. Like it's fucking mind-blowing to see how much my like clients will transform just starting to be in containers. It's just magical and it's beautiful and I love it. And I totally own that as a huge superpower now. Because before I was just like, oh yeah, reflectors, what are those and all that stuff. I like the hand clap. And I'm also, like I was saying, empathic. I'm really highly sensitive. I'm claircognizant. So a big thing that most people who I do any kind of healing work on is like they're like, how are you in my brain? How do you know what's going on? I'm claircognizant. So I just like get those downloads and informations to share with all the lovely people that I'm in service of. So that's a little bit about me. And tonight you guys are going to learn about the 3 keys. So the first one is aligning your subconscious beliefs with what you're desiring. The second one is creating your abundant identity. And the third one is harmonizing your masculine and feminine energy. So we're going to dive deeper into all of those, do lots of healing downloads because I love being of service and I want you guys to get a ton of value, even if like today is like all you ever see of me for the rest of your life. I'm going to give you guys a ton of value. And then also invite certain people who feel called to at the end to a next step if they're feeling called to it. So to jump into the first one, aligning your subconscious beliefs, it's so important to be aware of your limiting beliefs. So muscle testing helps, and having someone in your world who can like support you with those limiting beliefs once you discover them, or if you're a healer in some capacity, shape, or form, working on those your own place, like that is so important. It's not like there's an end goal ever of like, I'm done. Like I've 100% out of 100% cleared all my limiting beliefs. Unfortunately, sometimes people will get in that headspace and be like, I want to be done. Like I want like, just like high school, you complete high school and then you complete university, there should be like a done point. It's important to know that as long as you're continuing to grow and you have desires at the next level, there's going to continuously be limiting beliefs that are holding you back, unfortunately, that you get to look at. And the good thing is that you're the only one ever holding yourself back. It's not like there's someone else outside of you, external, that has some kind of power over you that's going to prevent you from getting the life of your dreams that are your heart's desires. That's not what's going on. It's always us. So yay, it's us. And we have the power to totally shift and change them whenever we so choose. So it's important to have that support on your journey, especially as you scale up more into higher months, to have a team of support so you can feel really nourished and guided and not get like in your head that, oh, I should be able to like do this or figure this out. And it's like, yeah, but when you're in your own shit, you're in your own shit. That's why we need people to support us, because when we're like a horse with blinders on almost, it's hard to be like, oh yeah, that little thing over there, that belief system that I wasn't aware of. And what can come up, especially as you hit different money ceilings or you start to like plateau and you're trying to get to the next level, is that another layer of an onion that you thought you healed will come up. So like another layer of like fear of failure or martyrdom syndrome or fear of success or fear of rejection or abandonment, another layer will come to the surface. And instead of sometimes just being like, okay, yay, another layer came up, this is the thing to heal for me to get to the next level, sometimes people will get like really frustrated with that and be like, fuck, like I thought I healed that, and get down on themselves and downward spiral instead. So in aligning your subconscious beliefs with what you're desiring, that like mindset of welcoming, yay, this came to the surface, it's ready to be healed. If you're becoming aware of it, and sometimes that pops up in a trigger or an unfortunate instance that you could label as a bad thing happening in your life, or a fight or an argument or something like that, like those things can show up. And the easier you can like shift your mindset to, yay, this is a thing that's ready to be healed and it's like bringing itself to the surface and talking loudly to me to clear, release, and let go of, that can really like support you on your journey to shift that mindset and to look at those things and be like, okay, I'm going to like reframe this and be excited for it and do the work that's coming up. Even if you are like, yeah, I've done a ton of throat chakra work or a ton of this type of work. It's like, yeah. And this could be a core wound that you're working on for a long time in your life or the entire lifetime, that you're here because you're here to go deeper and deeper and learn deeper and deeper lessons and clear up more space from the old and welcome in more abundance and good things. So it's something to welcome. That's a big like mindset shift that will like support you as you move forward. And also like just be aware that new things can come up, and it doesn't mean that you're like bad, wrong, broken if your friend or someone else or your coach didn't go through like the same exact journey. Because sometimes people will be like, there's this ABC process. This ABC process should work for everyone. And it's like, no, we're all very unique humans and have unique upbringings. We have a lot of similar themes, a lot of similar life experiences, which is beautiful and amazing. But you can have your own unique limiting belief systems that someone else right beside you doesn't have because you just had a different environment that you were growing up in. So we're going to clear a lot of those belief systems off right now. And again, it's just the layer that's coming up to the surface. If new things come up, then it's like, yay, you can also mark it to go even deeper into it later if you don't want to go super deep into all the things right now in your world. So would you guys like to clear, release, and let go of any and all heaviness, weight, pressure, overwhelm, and responsibility that's been put on your shoulders by yourself or others? That you can clear, release, and let go completely on all levels. The fears of success, fears of failure, fear of not being liked as you grow and expand on your journey. And that you can clear, release, and let go of any and all perfectionistic, people pleaser, and save your identities and frequencies around that that are no longer serving you. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And you want to know what it looks like and feels like to feel safe being seen, to be seen by even more people on your journey, to be open and welcoming, to having more eyeballs on your offers, on your launches, on your work in the world, and that you can feel safe in doing so without fearing of becoming a target or of being victimized for being out there too much or having a negative consequence or effect on your family. And if you would like that, you can say yes. And would you also like to clearly let go of the fear of getting too big too fast, of burning out with success, or of crashing down and having a more public failure, that you can clearly let go of the fears of failures attached to those as well? And if you'd like to clear that, you can say yes. Do you want to clearly let go of any and all soul trauma, trauma, and frozen energy that you've experienced in the past around growing too much too quick and like upper limit problems that came up into your world at that time, that you can clearly let go of the negative thoughts and memories and stories that you attributed to those experiences, and allow your nervous system and body to feel safe in growing and expanding again, and then allowing yourself that freedom to grow and expand on your journey. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And you want to know who you are and what your life looks like being wealthy, being abundant, being successful, and being in full alignment with your ideal belief systems for the next up level and upgrade that you're going through in your life and business right now, and that you know who you are and what your life looks like with this, that you're worthy of it, that you're deserving of it, that it's completely safe on all levels, and that you can and are embodying this little version of yourself right now, that you can accept that, and that you know what this level version of yourself looks like as you move through your life, in your business, in your personal relationships, and feeling safe and comfortable as this new version of you, and integrating even more ease in this transition in the outward world as well. And if you would like that, you can say that. Yes. Do you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all self-doubt, worry, or anxiousness around fully and completely embodying this next level version of yourself, and give yourself total and complete permission to do so in your comfortable baby steps, allowing peace and ease to be a priority in this transition. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay, and that's feeling good for a lot of people. And I'd love to check in. How's that feeling in everyone's body right now? And definitely take a sip of water. It's good to be really hydrated. Awesome. Yay. Very good. And you guys can share if you're feeling anything in your body, any sensations. Sometimes people feel like warmth. Sometimes people feel like tingles, stuff like that. So know that that's all normal and natural. It's good to just continue drinking water, especially if you're not really big into healing and you don't do it a lot. Okay. So the second key is creating your abundant identity, which is really, really, really important because you're stepping into it, you're embodying it instead of being like, oh, I'm not there yet, or that's going to be me in the future, or the like far off distant CEO version of myself will maybe get those kind of things. It's really creating the identity now and allowing yourself to step into the versions that you are, that you're already embodying and that you can easily like just align into. And also creating like the bigger dream version of like your ideal life. So conscious pieces of doing that work is to get really clear of what your like be do have list is for what your life is. So going even deeply, and I know that a lot of my clients have done this work, and it's like you can update your be do have list. So if you're brand new to me, the be do have list is really getting clear of what you're calling into your life and the things that are like non-negotiable, hell yes, new standards in your world. So the be is what you're being. So happy and healthy and joyful and passionate and fulfilled and adventurous and fun loving, all these wonderful things that you're being, you're embodying. So then do is all the things that you're doing. So running your business, traveling when we get to travel freely again, all the things that you desire to do. So supporting the charities that you love, supporting your clients every day, what your work schedule looks like in the run of a week and the run of a year, how that works and flows for you. And then the have is the things that people typically put on like their vision board or things that they desire. So like having like financial freedom, having a house that feels amazing, having a car that's super safe and supportive and luxurious if you want to go into like luxurious world. Having like the experiences that you want, having the world around you, your environment, how you desire it to be supportive for you, and not like judging any of your heart's desires, being like, I desire this really pretty thing. I get to have really pretty things and clothes and all the like more materialistic things without feeling bad or judging yourself. If it's in your heart's desires, it's there for a reason and you get to have it. And another really interesting thing that people will sometimes do is like limit their dreams instead of being like, I really truly desire this. So I'm going to put it out there to the universe. I'm going to order it and trust that it's coming to me. It's on its way to me now. It's being magnetized and attracted to me right now as I'm manifesting it and choosing it. But we have to say yes to it first. So I definitely encourage you guys, if you haven't ever done that before, creating a be do have list in itself can be super, super powerful. And it's amazing, amazing, amazing to continue to look at it every day to manifest it even quicker to you, and to also notice when the things come in, to like celebrate it, to not be like, oh, that's the thing that I want to like check off my list. You can totally do that if you're like, oh, I've done that thing, like I hiked the Grand Canyon or something like that, and you don't want to do it ever again. But it's really important to also like keep the things on your list that you're going to grow upon and be like, ooh, I still want to be all these things. I want to be more things. I want to be philanthropic and generous and more amazing things as you grow. Or if you want to have even bigger things where you're like, ooh, I want to have even more money in the bank account. I want like 200 grand in the bank account, whatever you're desiring, to continue to add to things and not take off things that you don't want anymore. In terms of like, oh, well, I'm healthy. Like if a health goal is a big thing for you and you get healthy, don't like cross off being healthy. You want to keep healthy on. I'm smelling the oil blend abundance. I love that. I smell abundance and transformation like every day before I start working. It's so good. And you can put that on your be to have list, having abundant oil or having the things around you that support your frequency and getting higher. Having a dream team in your business, having a dream team of support for coaches and healers and mentors who are supporting you. You can put all those kinds of lovely things on your be to have list. So another really big part of stepping into your abundant identity is increasing your money mindset. And we're always doing mindset work. That'll be another thing where sometimes people will be like, well, I read Think and Grow Rich, or you're badass at making money and tapping into wealth. And I've like done the money mindset work. And it's like, cool. So you can stay at the level that you're at right now, or you can continue to grow and evolve and expand by saying yes to even more amazing, wonderful things in your life and continuing to go even more deeply into your money mindset work. So we're also going to do some clearings and downloads here as well to support you guys in really stepping in to the abundance that you deserve and that you desire. So we'll do some more conscious pieces first and then do some beautiful healings. So in stepping into your abundant identity, really taking a reflective look at what has brought you to this point. So it's amazing to like check into your rates and be like, awesome, these were my rates that got me here. What can my next level be for my rates as I grow into the next level version of what my business is looking like? And looking at your rituals, your daily rituals, what you're spending time doing, and really look at the things that light you up and keep all the things that light you up, and then release and let go of the things that aren't anymore. So maybe you used to like wake up and go for a walk and that was super rejuvenating, and now waking up and going into a yoga practice feels a lot more restorative and would light you up and be something that you look forward to instead of being like, okay, it's a new day and I do my same routine and this is the same kind of thing. And sometimes people can have a hard time with releasing what has gotten them to this point, because then they're nervous, if I release what has gotten me to this point, what if I lose the current level of success? And like, it's kind of that leap and it'll be there. The next step's always there when you take those beautiful leaps. So I encourage you guys to also do that in baby steps if that feels like a lot to you, to be like, oh, I don't want to like totally overhaul how I've been like showing up in like my self-care practices in the morning, evening, during the day, and my business and all the things. So I also always recommend your inspired steps. So baby steps are amazing. Moving in your own unique inspired action steps is so supportive and wonderful. So do you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all aspects of yourself that wants like this to shift overnight, that wants to be a perfectionist about it, and just clear it all the bad and like clear it all the old and clear it all the things that aren't serving you today to make space for the new tomorrow, that you can allow yourself to have even more patience throughout your journey, and that you know who you are and what your life looks like when you are flowing in your inspired action steps. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay, checking into the comments. Oh my gosh, this is such an aha for me. I've been holding tightly to the morning rituals that got me here. Yeah, but I've had such a hard time to let go. Sorry, to let what no longer lights me up. Yes. I totally understand that. And then it's just loving awareness. It's like, oh, that's interesting. Why do I feel like I have to keep this in this order? Or why do I think, even though this drains me or I don't look forward to it and doesn't light me up anymore, why do I think I have to have it? Sometimes it'll be something that you saw someone else super successful doing, and then you're like, this is the key to success, and then you added it in and started like being successful with things, or by a number of the things that you were adding in at the time, and you kind of were just like, but I have to keep this, or my parents did this, my parents always drank coffee in the morning and they were successful, so I need to drink coffee in the morning to be successful. So it's like really taking a step back and looking at it and being like, well, maybe if you had a green juice instead of a coffee in the morning, and then checked into your body 30 minutes later, an hour later, 2 hours later, maybe you don't need the coffee because now the green juice or smoothies or whatever you're doing feels better. And then you can go either longer without coffee or smaller amounts of coffee, or you can shift and change that. Same thing with like the amount of time for self-care rituals as well. That's been really interesting on my journey, especially as I've like deep dove into feminine and then like harmonized more masculine energy back in. And I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but I'm kind of feeling really called to address this part first. It's been interesting because I've gone really deep dive feminine and had like 1 hour and then 2 hour and then 3 hour and 4 hour like self-care in the morning and like filling me up fully and like serving for my overflow and then being like, yeah, but this is all like, it feels a lot. So then like playing with that and being like, okay, well, what three main things feel really good, and shifting to an hour, shifting to like different times instead of being like more is better. Or this has to work, like because this worked for this amount of time in my life as I was growing like this has to be it forever. And it's like, no, this can shift and change and grow and expand and evolve on your journey. um, so what can help people, especially if they kind of get it in their head about it and they're like, oh, there's all these things, is brain dumping. So writing down the things that you're currently doing and then like rating it on a scale of 1 to 10. Like, how much does this light me up? Like if I just, and sometimes it's good to write this down and then go through your morning routine throughout the rest of the day and write down, okay, I just did that thing. Okay, so the restorative yoga practice used to totally 10 out of 10 light me up, but that's not really feeling great anymore. So then you can look at that later and be like, okay. So if that's kind of like a 2 now and I don't really look forward to it and it doesn't really like serve me as much as it used to, maybe your body's good and has harmonized that. And maybe your adrenals were really fried when restorative yoga for like 30 minutes to an hour was so good for you. And now you can look at it and be like, well, what's my body feel more called to? And maybe that's going for a run and going for a run for 20 minutes. It's like allowing yourself to have that level of freedom in playing with it instead of being like, this is a hard stuck rule and this is what I have to do to always be successful. It's tuning into what in this present moment of time is supportive for you, which means like you could start running for the next week, or you could be like, I'm going to run every other day and do yoga every other day. Like you can mix and match and change it as you co-create your next level identity and the rituals that will be supporting you for that. Like the emoji. Okay, so another big thing that can change is like the amount of gratitude that you have, because sometimes as you're growing you'll get like really excited about all the things that you're wanting to move into, and then you'll do like kind of the same gratitude practice where you're like, yeah, I like check into 3 things that I'm grateful for. So for me on my journey and for a number of clients, as we've expanded our gratitude practice, other things in our business have expanded a lot more as well. So I also definitely encourage you to add in more gratitude throughout the day. So I have specific times throughout my whole day where I have things where I'm just grateful for. Like every time I like pour water or get food, like I'll clear off the energy and do downloads for food and stuff. And then I'm like grateful for it all. And then I take time to be grateful for all the food, the people who were involved in it, all the different things. And then I'm grateful for a couple things that are around me too. And I also move even more deeply into gratitude at the end of the day and like just go on like kind of just like full on everything that happened the day I'm grateful for, even if they're things that I would think were in reflection like stressful or not as fun, quote, quote, quote. Um, because we can always learn lessons from it. So I'm grateful for the lessons that I'm learning around this growth experience. I'm learning the lessons around this obstacle that's coming up for me. And I'm grateful that it's showing up for me so that I'm going to embody these lessons and have these characteristics for me in the future and for the people that I'm going to serve in the future with and with. And I find that that allows things can go really flowy, and it allows you to continue in that like upward cycle instead of being like, oh, wow, like I'm in a growth phase or I'm transitioning into higher rates or different things are happening in my life or in my business, and can sometimes like feel challenging. And then one negative experience can build on another, and then like stacking the not good things, the challenges, the hardships, the stress, those things can create the downward spiral and create a lot more time on someone's journey to get from point A to point B than they want to ideally. So I find that having a deeper gratitude practice as you're stepping into your even more abundant identity can be really supportive and nourishing for it to be a flowier experience. The like thoughts that we have about our life are self-fulfilling prophecies. So if you're thinking that this is just going to be a really challenging time and it's going to be hard and blah, 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 that'll be what your brain is looking for. Your reticular activating system literally looks for those things that you're looking for. So it's really important to be mindful of that and be like, okay, that showed up. Feel your emotions, have the emotional experience in the time, or be like, okay, body, I can't cry about this right now because I'm about to go into a client call. And I will totally like come back to you and check into you later and see were you emotional because different triggers were coming up? Are you kind of getting exhausted and we need to just like cry and watch a movie that makes us cry, or do a grieving ceremony, or just like have a nap later, and supporting your body through the transition as well. Awesome. And Lisa says, getting the gratitude blend. Yes. I smell that. I don't think I have the gratitude blend right now in this present moment. Awesome. Okay. Kind of got a rant on the energies and stuff, but that was coming really strongly through. So to check back into my notes, it's also really important to like actively clear the blocks in your body. So like that's when my like Reiki master hat comes on, because we'll have throat chakra blocks around speaking to larger and larger audiences, or having more people engage with us, watch our videos, show up to all of our things. Like it's so important to continue to expand that. So your throat chakra, also doing work in the root to be like, it's safe. It's safe to do this. I will still belong to my family, even if you're making more money than your family ever has, or if they have judgments or thoughts or belief systems around that, or if you're like, well, if I become my like multiple six-figure millionaire version of myself, then people are going to like expect me to pay for their house, or expect me to retire my parents, or expect me to do all these things. So it's clearing off all of those fears and really creating the identity that you desire, who has boundaries, who will be able to say no to those things, or who can like say confidently to the people in your world, yeah, I'm moving towards these things, these are my big goals that I'm moving towards, and this will be what I'm doing with it. So some of my clients have had whole intentions where they're like, I would love to just buy my parents a house, and like it would be paid off and it would just be so good. But then in the same breath, they have all these limiting belief systems of, as they start to get more money, then they're worried that their parents are going to like keep asking for money, and then they won't be able to like be able to grow their business, and they won't be able to like feel okay saying no to them and all these things. So it's being aware of how complex all of this could be as we're growing and expanding into the next level versions of ourselves, and clearing off the fears and the worries and the stories that we're creating in our head. That's like, do you even know that that's true? Do you know that like people are totally going to come out of the woodwork to get your money? Like that doesn't have to be your experience, your reality at all. So it's clearing all of those fears and allowing you to step into your next level's identities as you become 5, 10, 15K and beyond, and allow yourself to be like, okay, I'm good and I'm safe and I have boundaries that protect me, and I've continued to grow and expand my belief systems that fears that would pop up if I still had those would be manifested in my reality, but I have grown and cleared and released those so that I can experience a different world and reality than other people have in the past. One thing that's very, very prominent in the coaching industry is definitely the like story of like a big drop to a big high. So like the rags to riches, or um, I was on my sister's couch and had all this debt. Now I'm a multimillionaire. Or I was addicted to drugs or an alcoholic or all these things, worst thing on the bathroom floor, badness, then get to the next level. So sometimes in the upper limiting issues that pop up for people will be, they'll create a negative experience. So like a drop in their money or a drop in their health or a drop in something, so that they can't have a new high after it. And a big thing that I'm feeling super called to and being a really big proponent of is to continue to grow from your new set point. Being like, okay, cool, like 5K is my new baseline. Like just hit 5K, yay, high fives and awesomeness and celebrations and parties and dance parties around like hitting your new goal. And then being like, and this is my new minimum. This is my new baseline. We're not gonna like get into bankruptcy in order to jump up. Like Tony Robbins has stories like that. There's so many different stories in the industry around like even worse things happening to grow off of. So it's embodying that in your subconscious belief system and your conscious reality as well, to have that aligned, that we are choosing to be abundant, and what was just a high is now our new set point, is now our new minimum, and we're going to grow from there, and doing the work around that too. And I'm also checking into the time. I'm like, I want to talk about so many things and so much stuff, and I want to do so many downloads. So let's jump into some downloads for this aspect as well. So do you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all blocks in your body, money blocks, and scarcity belief systems, and lack realities that are showing up in your world that no longer serve you, that you can clear, release, and let go of all of these now completely in all levels, and we'll resolve it on a history level as well. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And you want to know what it looks like and feels like to co-create your ideal life and your abundant identity through your higher powers perspective, that you know what that looks like and feels like in your body, that you're worthy and deserving of it now, and that you can give yourself the space to co-create this into your world. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And you want to know what it looks like and feels like to reverse engineer your ideal dream life, your heart's desires, and the next levels that you're moving into, so you can move through them with ease and in inspired action steps, and that you know who you are and what your life looks like as you up level your rituals, your daily habits, your daily devotions to yourself, your clients, and your family, and that you can allow yourself the spaciousness to grow and expand and fuck it up and make mistakes and play with it and add in new things. And if you would like that, you can say yes. Do you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all fears that are coming up around stepping into your next level, abundant identity? That you can clear, release, and let go of the fear that you're not good enough, that you're not ready yet, or that it's unsafe, that you'll lose people, that you won't be supported, that you can clearly let go of the fear that it's lonely at the top, that people who make more money have more problems or have more people who are in their worlds in an unhealthy way or in a manipulative or a bad intentioned way, that you can clearly let go of those, and that you can allow yourself to know what it looks like and feels like to trust your intuition, your gut feeling, your highest self, around the people and the types of people you allow into your space and into your world. And if you would like that, you can say yes. And you want to know what it looks like and feels like to bless and release environments, old objects, people, identities, old versions of clients, or like avatars of clients, that you can clear, release, and let go of all of those things that are no longer in alignment with this new identity that you're choosing to embody in this moment, and that you can allow yourself to experience even more ease, speed, grace, joy, and love in the future as you release and let go of what is currently in your world, in your environment, in your system that doesn't serve you, that those can be released, knowing that everyone and everything is going to be matched with the next blessing on their journey. And so are you, that this is a loving experience and that this is supportive for all, and that this can be a loving conversation, a loving communication, a loving experience for you, and that you can allow this to be a new standard for who you're stepping into. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Do you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all like heaviness, any walls, barriers, or blocks that you used to put into your body and that used to feel important, that are now only like weighing you down and preventing you from being fully connected to God, creator, source energy, the universe? You can allow those to be released now, that you can be grateful for them, for how they protected you at the time, for the use and thoughts that you had around needing them in the past, especially as a child, that you can be grateful that they were there when you thought that you needed them, and that you can lovingly release them now. You can support the inner child versions of yourself in embodying this next level up level without having all of this heaviness and these shields and these walls and these old like big like bricks holding you back, that all of those can be released now with ease. And we'll fill up the space where those used to live with unconditional love and healing energy. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And we'll also do a body block because there's some different spots showing up in people. So for this one, I'm going to get you guys to shut your eyes and take some deep cleansing breaths. Just do a scan of your body and breathing through any and all energies that you notice in your body that no longer serve you. And just noticing and breathing, moving from one to another. Just bringing loving awareness as you're breathing. And then once you've scanned your body, we're just going to check into the most prominent energy in your system right now. Checking into the one that feels the strongest or is the most painful. And then moving all of your focus and intention on that one energy. Noticing how much space it currently takes up in your body. Noticing what color it is. And if you touched this old energy that no longer serves you, what temperature would it have? What texture would it have if you touched it? And we're going to take this old energy and safely move it outside of your body through your higher power. And fill up the space where it used to live with unconditional love and healing energy. And if you would like that, you can say yes. And just breathe. And we'll cut any and all cords, contracts, vows, commitments, oaths, bonds, and obligations to that. We'll release that on all levels. And now that this energy is safely outside of your body, we're going to ask it a question and allow the first thought, first feeling to come through. And just ask it, what were you trying to teach me? And just noticing what comes up without judgment around what it was trying to teach you. And you want to know what it looks like and feels like through your higher power to mark this lesson as complete. You can do so now and choose to learn all other lessons that will come up around this wound or this experience in the future that you choose to learn. Any and all future lessons that are up levels of this through ease, speed, grace, joy, and love, instead of hardship, pain, suffering, heartache, or dis-ease. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And we can resolve this on a history level as well, showing you who you are and what your life looks like with this lesson clearly understood in your world. That you know who you are and what your life looks like, embodying this, knowing how to continue to flow in your world with all of this new information, with deeper levels of clarity and understanding around any and all circumstances that were coming up around this lesson, any and all pain points or triggers. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And you want to know what it looks like and feels like to have all of your heart's desires. You can allow yourself to receive even more deeply unconditional love in your life. You can receive support and guidance, both on a physical 3D human plane, energetically and spiritually, knowing that it's your birthright to be unconditionally loved and supported, to know within your soul that you're always watched over, protected, and kept safe, and that you can deepen your understanding and knowledge that everything is happening for your highest and best good and your optimal health. And that you can allow yourself to really fully receive all of the benefits around this lesson that you were trying to learn, around this experience or multiple experiences that were happening, that you can receive all of the benefits now and in the future without any of that struggle, pain, or suffering, or without needing any and all other types of frequency energies at that level to come in and show it to you. And if you would like that, you can say yes. Do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to create a new standard and boundary in your world around this lesson so that you can have even more ease and love throughout your journey as you grow in the future? And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And then we can get your higher power to transmute that old energy into unconditional love, sending it out into the ether and filling you up with unconditional love and healing energy. If you'd like that, you can say yes. And you can take some deep cleansing breaths. You might want to like stretch out, shake it out, help your body moving that energy out a little bit, like clearing it off you. And I'd love to hear in the chat how your body is feeling now. Definitely drinking water. Okay, I am deserving of a new computer that will actually download. Yes, definitely. Confidence does not stay with me for long. I'm smelling release feelings. Feeling light yet strong. Yeah. Do you want to know? Oh, you're smelling release. The release oil. Very cool. Feeling light yet strong. Awesome. Very cool. Do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to be confident, to own your confidence, and to be assertive without being perceived by yourself as being mean, bitchy, bad, wrong, or selfish? That you can clearly let go of those and the fear that other people are going to judge you negatively for being confident consistently. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Awesome. And just to let you know, like that last message was private versus the group. So you could have actively chosen that, but I wanted to let you know. Okay. Then step number 3, the third key is harmonizing your masculine and feminine energy. So we live in a very patriarchal world where going, doing, success is kind of like the epitome of what we're programmed when we're children throughout school and throughout like careers in the corporate world. So it's very natural and normal for people to be in very hyper masculine energy, to be on like really far extreme of their masculine energy. So when I'm saying masculine and feminine energy, it's not like women have to be all feminine, 100% feminine all the time. That wouldn't be healthy or supportive. And men are like masculine energy, all masculine all the time. Like all beings can have a blend of what their masculine and feminine energy is. Some people also like to call that like yin and yang and kind of like visualize that. So it's just like not gender identified. I want to make that clear. So the masculine energy is the doer, is the going, is the like competitive energy that succeeds. And unfortunately, as women, most women are kind of attracted to my work in the world. We can be on the hypermasculine energy because that's how we're taught to be successful. And at a young age, we had to be controlling and to try to control our environment to be safe. So being controlling in our hypermasculine energy, getting success, getting money, those are things that like we're conditioned into versus, oh, the feminine's not weak. The feminine allows you to receive deeper levels of money and joy and bliss and awesome, wonderful things in the world. So it's about doing the feminine work that we might have been putting off in our world, or it's just starting getting called into or called into even more deeply. So I've done tons of deep dive, really deep feminine work of being like surrendered and receiving. So the feminine is more in the receiving role, the more nurturing role, um, where you can still have a successful business moving and flowing in your feminine. So that's something that I'm also very, very, very guided to like be an embodiment of in the world. And that you can have your unique harmony of this. It's not like a balance where it has to be, okay, 50-50. And it's not that it has to be 60-40 every single day or 40-60 or 20-80. Like there's no one set for you every single second of the rest of the day, your days for the rest of your life. Like it will flow. It gets to be a harmony. So like in music, harmonies, beautiful things, lovely experiences. And there's no set in stone black and white thing. So you want to clear release and let go of any and all this or that, black or white. I can have this thing, but only if I sacrifice that thing, types of mismatched energies in your field that you've been taught by others. And if you'd like to clearly let go of that, you can say yes. And you want to know what it looks like and feels like to feel safe and free in exploring your feminine and in playing with the harmony of your masculine and feminine energies, and that you can feel safe in incorporating more masculine energy into your feminine and more feminine energy into your masculine, that you can play with these dynamics and play with these energies without it needing to be serious or something that's set in stone. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. So then for my very, very feminine, very, very goddess, free flowing, lovely ladies, they can go to an extreme of that. And I've also gone through that on my journey too, where it's like, ooh, I've gone way to this other side. And what was really coming up in the collective recently, and also in several clients in the groups and also private client experiences, were feeling unsafe with the masculine, with masculine men actually in their world, and also like their masculine energy, that their masculine energy has hurt them in the past. It's burnt them out. It's caused them to eat into their self-care rituals or eat into their sleep or sacrifice for getting something done or sacrifice for money. So do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to forgive your masculine energy? Forgive the masculine energy within yourself and forgive any and all masculine energies or really intense energies that you created stories around where they're bad, they're wrong, they're negative, they hurt you, they cause and create suffering and pain. And if you'd like to clear, release, and let go of those, you can say yes. And do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to slowly integrate in baby steps masculine energy back into your regular everyday life or into your business in loving, supportive ways that are optimal for your expansion right now and that contribute to even more success with an overflowing cup? And if you would like that, you can say yes. And do you want to clear, release, and let go of any null shoulds or comparisons or harsh judgments that you've had on how you should be showing up, how your business should be running, how you should be as a person, as you as your unique human? You can clear, release, and let go of all of that so you can truly be who you are in this present moment, that you can allow yourself to be, and that you can really be connected to the power of your being, that you are an infinite being on this planet, and that you can really remember that and connect to that truth in this moment and stay connected to it in the future. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Do you want to give yourself permission to move in this harmony of masculine and feminine energy as you go through the different stages and phases of your life? And that you can allow yourself to move in the inspired action step that's coming up in the moment. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And then we can integrate all of these beautiful changes. And I can offer you guys a general healing for any and all other areas of your body, life, and business that are ready to be healed right now. And fill you up with your higher powers, unconditional love, compassion, peace, and prosperity. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And take some deep cleansing breath. And checking into your body, noticing how all that's feeling now. And I'd love for you guys to share in the chat how you're feeling if you're called to. And I'll check into there. I release and let go. Yes, yes, awesome. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you. You are so welcome. It is my pleasure. So good. Awesome. So these 3 keys go way deeper. And like, I wish that I could go like and telepathically like communicate all the stuff. Like, I'm so excited for when we can just like telepathically download to each other and just like immediately like raise the frequency of the planet. That'll be so good. But until we get to that point, this is just like scratched the surface of the depth that all of these keys can go. And there's so many more gaps that show up for people as they continue to grow and transform. And even if you just hit a new milestone, that is amazing. Yay. Celebrating everyone who's like just recently hit a milestone. And if you want to celebrate that right now, be like, hey, this awesome thing happened. You can totally celebrate that right now. I know that some of the people in my group who are going to watch the replay of this are like, yay, these things are awesome. And what I'm also sharing with them is that it's amazing and wonderful and awesome. And hitting a new milestone is awesome and amazing and wonderful. And the next step of that is stabilizing that and normalizing that in your frequency, and then doing the work and normalizing that consistently, and also growing that into the next level without having all the upper limit experiences that can be negative of, oh, I just had this new thing, so because I have more money, I'm gonna like self-sabotage over here or co-create a health issue or an argument in my relationships or something like that. So it's important to understand that as we're growing, as we're evolving and hitting higher and higher levels of impact in the world and income that we get to receive for showing up and sharing our light with the world, that new things will pop up, and that there's deeper layers that come up in our subconscious belief system. I could do 100 million hours of subconscious belief work on people, and still there's always more things to clear, release, and let go of. So I'm really excited to offer an invitation for a private call with me if you're feeling called to go deeper into all of these things, to know, oh, what other subconscious belief systems do I have in my world that are holding me back? And how can I step into my abundant identity now and not have all this like wobbliness or shakiness of it, of like a high month and then a bunch of low months, to like average it out? That'll happen with people where they'll hit like a 10K month and then their next couple months are like really low. And then they're like, so over that 3 or 4 month average, I'm still at what I was before because I can't allow myself to receive and hold wealth. So working on those pieces and going even deeper into that. So I have space on my calendar for the next week, 5 spots to get on an increase your impact and income call with me, when we are going to deep dive into exactly what's going on in your world at this present moment. So it's a complimentary call, and we're going to look at the gaps that are currently showing up in your world between where you're at, where you're desiring to be, where your goals are. And I'll be super clear on like what's showing up in your field, what downloads I get, what like limiting beliefs are showing up. And I'll also support you with the number one step in moving forward, the number one block, the number one piece that's holding you back, like that domino piece that if you literally focus all of your energy and effort there, a bunch of the other stuff isn't going to be needed or necessary to work on. Like that's going to be the needle mover that will support you in moving forward, because I know what it's like to be on my journey and to be like, so I'm kind of at the like carnival where there's the things that pop up and you're just like randomly like whack-a-moling and like not actually knowing where you're supposed to be like getting rid of the stuff and tuning into like, oh, what's the number one belief system that working on that would clear everything else. That is so powerful. So I want to help you guys being effective on your journey. And then you'll also get a personalized plan for moving forward on your journey. So I'm going to have a group that's coming up very soon. I also have private spots that are available, which I'm like super excited to welcome new private soul clients, so soul sister or soul brother clients into the world. And I will pop the link to that in the chat right now. Everyone, cool. I had copied the title in, so I have to grab it from a Word document. There we go. Everyone in the meeting. Awesome. So I popped that in there for everyone on the replay. It'll be in the email that the recording is sent out in as well, so that you guys can get that. And I'm so excited to support everyone in like growing and expanding because there's like huge waves of changes that are happening in the world right now. And I'm thrilled to be a bright light in it and to continue to support all of my clients and even more light workers in shining their light and supporting more people and just serving the world so much right now. So I'm sending you guys lots and lots of love for moving forward on your journey. And if anyone has any questions, any specific like junky limiting beliefs that are still kind of popping up for you, definitely let me know. I can stay on for another couple minutes. And if not, then we can have a lovely evening. Okay, I'm tuning in to some of the comments, and some of them were private, some of them were public. Awesome. I feel so good, lighter, peaceful. Thank you. You are welcome. It's my pleasure. Okay. You're welcome. Awesome. Talk to you tomorrow. All the private comments. Awesome. Beautiful. Okay, so if no one has any other questions, we can end it for tonight. And I'll send you guys all so much love and light and healing energy as you continue to move forward into tons of abundance and success. And thank you so much for honoring yourself and taking this time out of your day. I really value your time and love that you guys showed up to be brighter lights in the world. And I love that you guys are sharing your gifts with the people that need them so much right now. So I hope that you guys have a lovely night and I'll talk to you later. Bye.